After what seemed like weeks of exceedingly hot and muggy weather, it finally changed, bringing mild temperatures, clear skies and drier air. Time for another ride. This time the ride of about 100 miles each way was a little longer, but I'd been eyeing the Griffith Trail for quite a while, and this seemed like the day to do it. Once again I was riding the mighty Cavalcade, bike of choice for this activity because of its lockable storage. Not your idea of a stylish ride? It's a surprisingly capable machine, and far more fun than your prejudices might suggest. Anyway, I wasn't much bothered by traffic, and eventually arrived at the tiny community of Griffith, where the highway crosses the Madawaska River. From there it was a quick couple of miles along this gravel road to the parking area at the start of the hike. Once again, I was reminded that even lardy old road couches can cope with unpaved roads perfectly well. It's just a matter of riding according to the road conditions, the capabilities of the machine, and your own skill level. The signboard says the trail is about 10 kilometers or 6 miles long. Just enough to get the legs and heart pumping and the lungs cleaned out. The first part of the trail was surprisingly overgrown, just a narrow path through the undergrowth. But once past this little creek, it started to climb. I won't bore you with a blow-by-blow description of the trail, just a few short snapshots from along the way. I must say I'm enjoying this trail so far. It's a nice mix of ups and downs, and it's not heavily travelled. Not a lot of footprints, although, the track path is reasonably easy to follow. It's not maintained to death. There's a few tree falls across the trail. There's a little bit of bare rock, a little bit of swamp, a little bit of everything. So that's good. As long as my body holds out, we'll be in great shape. Oh look, somebody had a little fire here. It's rather cute. I was brought up in the UK, where most of the hills and mountains are bare, and as long as it isn't foggy or snowing, you get really good views. In Ontario, because of all the blasted trees, it's rare to get a decent view, and it's always a great relief when one does. The ride home took me along the delightful Centennial Lake Road, well known in this part of the world for its numerous pleasant corners, excellent road surface and lake views. It's very popular with riders from Ottawa and Eastern Ontario because it's such an enjoyable ride. This section had been recently repaved, and I was reminded that on one of my previous rides along here, they were still working on preparing the roadbed. I rather liked it in its earlier state. 200 miles of riding and enough hiking to expand the lungs and remind me that I'm still an ambulatory creature. It makes for an immensely satisfying day. We were born without wheels and a motor. Once in a while it's good to remember that we can get around without them. But after an enjoyable hike, it was a good feeling to settle into the armchair comfort of the cavalcade, press the starter button, engage the self-drive mechanism, and tell it to take me home. I'm kidding, of course. It does have cruise control, but self-drive motorbikes are a long way off. May it ever stay that way. Please subscribe, like, dislike, or write a comment. I usually respond to most comments. My various motorcycle travel books are available in paperback, digital, and audiobook formats through Amazon. Just search for Nick Adams Motorcycle or visit my website at www.nickadamswriting.com. Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to those of you who have bought my books and left such kind comments.